All right, we are back. This is game 5 of week 1.5 from the 2021 Casuals Only Tournament. The game is King of the Map on Shuffle Off This Mortal Coil Dark. This is the last game of the week. Again, the highest score of week 1 and week 1.5 is the one I would eventually use headed into the official week 2. Um, why don't we jump into this? All right. Oh, wrong button. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, Overdose and Gerald Toad have yet to win a game today. They are both 0-4. They are teaming again for the fifth time in a row. We will see if they can actually make something out of the day, or it'll be a complete waste of time. Who knows? But we have Team Overdose with General Pepper, Drunken Deer, Gerald Toad, and Selah versus the purple team, Team Spy, with Empty Mint Chip, Reekfish, Walter White, and Father Xmas. We
Well, and this was another one that I was I kind of tried to give Spy some insight into, what type of characters should you get, but in general, this just seemed king of the map. Let's try to own it. Let's try to use some pretty heavy artillery units like fetch, but when you only have 5 players, how can you really adapt? This will be a really interesting game.
Yeah. So are you saying that you are responsible for this unit trade?
Uh, I will. I will say that Spy pulls his own trade for sure, but I gave him proper. Spy and I may win this one because of my trade.
Okay.
Or
So
we might lose it on my trade. I think either way, it's a mutual effort.
okay. Well, we'll see what happens. What we see right here is a 4 fetch, 4 warlock trade with a bunch of melee units. Pretty standard, I would say. Nothing that stands out too much. For Team Overdose, on the other hand, we see first of all a couple of whites, as well as 6 warlocks, maximum fetch, and a bunch of melee units. So these are pretty close trades. Obviously, the two major differences are a couple more warlocks for Team Overdose, as well as those whites. But do you think that there are any inherent advantages or disadvantages for either of the teams, Walter?
At this point, no.
Flag captured.
It just it comes down to how the players play their cards. I think Ja having 25% is a big move, but Walter having 23% is a big move too. So let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Perhaps Overdose still thinks that Gerald is a power player and someone who deserves 25%. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Who knows? Spy obviously thinks quite highly of you to give you 23%. Whether that's warranted or not, who knows? But what we can see right now is,
We can already just say that that's false.
well,
Flag
I don't know.
captured.
We'll see what happens. But
Flag
what I
captured.
will say is that we see a large force headed middle from Overdose's team, as well as a large force from Team Spy, even though I don't think it's as large. I see a much larger force going
Flag
north rather
captured.
than, or
Flag
when
contested.
compared to Team Overdose, which this is most of the 25% that was given to Gerald. He's going to hold the north, it appears. Overdose is holding the
captured.
south. And this middle engagement is about to take place, so let's
Flag
key in on
captured.
this.
I could click in on the units. It's kind of fun to see it play out, I guess.
Yeah,
Flag
I mean, we
contested.
see General Pepper's probably going to be the first one to start firing. Oh, Drunken Deer, maybe. Oh, we see Walter Wight with an errant fireball, wiping out 2 of the fetch from Spy's team. Drunken Deer and General Pepper are making a push with their 3 fetch. I don't think Spy can. Nope, there's a friendly fireball. Yeah, these 3 fetch are just completely running over the mid.
It's a great play by Drunken Deer.
Yeah, exactly. Spy's team is forced to scatter. Meanwhile, we see up north Spy's Mercridia, Father Xmas's various units going to town on Geral's Warlock. Geral's units at this point are kind of surrounded, even though this Maul pack would be a problem for these 6 Mercridia, unless they're also supported by Father Xmas's Berserks, which appears as though they're getting around to doing. And yeah, I think Geral is going to get wiped out here in the north. However, this middle force is broken through. Drunken Deer, Selah, General Pepper, they are free to run havoc in the purple team's territory. However, this northern force from Spy and Father Xmas could be a problem for Team Overdose. In the south, we see sort of a stalemate between MP and Overdose himself. Notice this Wight here having some trouble sinking himself. Yeah, let's just see over here. I think General Pepper has rotated from the middle to try and retake the north. We will see if he is successful.
Right now, we see that it's 70 to 66, so it's potentially a game, but at the same time, the team with the most percentage also is winning the flag. So I think we pretty much call it a game right here. I don't think you can consider it a game other than after this.
Captured.
Yeah.
Flag
No, I think that
captured.
the game is over at this point. Don't we
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I mean, we see Selah, about to
Flag captured.
sort of double team Spy and Father Xmas to get rid of this
Flag
force.
contested.
However, we do see a counterattack
lost.
with Reekfish. We'll see
Contested.
if that will turn into anything. It appears as though MP was completely annihilated by a combination of Drunken Deer and Overdose in the south. Yeah, but I would say the last bastion of hope would be this middle force from Reekfish and Father Xmas, which I don't know if they'll be able to overcome these odds. However, Spy is dealing immense damage to this melee pack here.
Was a good shot.
Yeah, good shot by Father Xmas. This crazy Mercridia killing a couple of Zerks, possibly killing,
Flag
oh,
lost.
possibly killing a fetch, but not. But
Flag
yeah,
lost.
we are seeing a 44% to 26% tilt, which is,
Flag
you know,
lost.
and this kind of map, kind of hard to overcome. However, I will say most of that 44% is concentrated in the hands of Overdose, which is definitely a risky proposition. Furthermore, he is out of position with no enemies in sight, so if you want to take away that
Do you think
18% effect,
Overdose could have
5 minutes remaining.
fallen at this point? It doesn't seem like it based on the percentage. So at this point, if you look at the percentages,
Flag
it's
captured.
almost 50% to
Flag
100%.
lost.
You know, like the
Contested.
green team should be if they were at 100%, then the
Flag
pink team would be at
captured.
50%.
Flag captured.
So in terms of how many units
Flag
are out
lost.
there, I think Overdose has a significant advantage. I think there's no
Contested.
possible way, particularly with a map of this
Flag
size,
lost.
which takes
Flag
about
captured.
3 minutes
Flag
to get
lost.
from one end to the other. It's impossible.
Flag contested.
Overdose has this game, whether he knows it or not.
well, perhaps. I mean, he has been known
Flag
to
lost.
let some pretty easy wins slip through his fingers,
Flag
so
contested.
nothing's ever guaranteed. However, it does appear, like what you said, Overdose has more than twice the number of or
Flag
percentage
contested.
as Team Spy, especially now, almost 4 times as much. It
Flag
appears as though
lost.
this middle
Flag
force
lost.
of Reekfish is the last bit
Flag
of hope
contested.
for Spy's team, and it's really just a matter of time before Overdose's team starts racking up the flags and the time. We will see if this game will finish out. These 4 Zerks losing to this melee pack here. So the game appears.
What's fun with
Flag
these
lost.
casual games is that players
Flag
understand
captured.
when it's time for the game to end. They don't draw it out.
Well, as you say it, though, it appears as though Reekfish is not going to go down without a fight. He wants to get as much time as possible, or not. Maybe he
Flag
is
lost.
willing to do the gracious thing and feed himself to Overdose, even though Overdose is probably going to take a couple of deaths in the process. But yes, Reekfish doing the noble thing and ending this game a couple minutes early. Even though,
Except for whoever
Team
is not.
eliminated.
yeah,
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
yeah. All right, well, there you have it. Geralt and Overdose. Desperate for a win. Coming through in the end. And going 1-4 for the day. Not the best performance by those players, but it was good that they went out on a high note. Yeah, I mean, I think that the deciding factor was that middle push between or by Drunken Deer and General Pepper to kill the your warlocks and fetch, which ended up killing some friendly artillery units, and it was just a whole sort of disaster in the middle for you guys, and that sort of opened the floodgates for them to kind of run rampant and cause some destruction in the in your area. Some bright spots for Team Spy, however, was the nice push up north by Spy and I believe Father Xmas to kill Geralt's units, and yeah, I mean it was a pretty interesting game. But is there anything that you would like to say about that game, Walter?
No, this is always a hard map. I mean, it's so split, and it tends to be played on these flag grab type things that, but it's always never the flag grab that I'm used to. I guess like I'm pretty sure I have a strat for every flag grab but king of the map on this. So it's just one of those. Ugh, what if?
Well, I have to ask then, if you had a king of the map strat for everything except this, then why did
No,
you?
I don't have a king of the map strat for. No,
Okay, well,
it's like no, I'd rather. Sorry, it's like I have a flag rally strat for this. I
oh,
have a capture the flag strat. I have a territories strat, but this the king of the map strat was. I didn't really want to ever play king of the map on this because it's so stupid. It's sort of retarded.
okay.
It's
Well, you
it's
heard it
it's
here
honestly,
first.
well, no, well, we can go into it, but it was honestly like one of the most retarded choices.
Okay, well, there you have it. Bad choice. Whoever chose this game type should be admonished for his poor selection. I don't know exactly. It could be. Heck,
It may have been
maybe you
me.
chose it, Walter. Who knows? I have no idea who chose these maps.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. There you have it. Going out on a sour note. But yeah, so that sort of concludes week 1.5 of the casuals only tournament. I think I could show you guys a quick glimpse of what the score looks like. If the thing is still here, or the graph is still here, I don't know. This one, yeah, it should be here. Yeah, so this is the ending balance. As you can see, I just took sort of the highest number and put it to the ending balance. Running through the scores really quick, we see that since Walter Wight went 5-0 in week one, his perfect score remains intact. So he is the leader after week 1.5. There are several people with 6 points. That includes Buffalo Bill or Drunken Deer, MP Phil by some miracle, Selah, and Sunny Days, who we did not see today, but who played in week one. Some people with 5 lives, Father Xmas, Overdose, Sephorescent, who played in week one, and people who didn't show up at all. I gave them a -5, putting them sort of close to the brink of elimination simply because they didn't show up. Those players include Detriment, General X, Jakku, Foss, uh, Taro, Vigor, and Zathras. These are players who I reached out to. I tried to get them to join this tournament. They said yes. And then when push came to shove and when the games actually assembled, they were nowhere to be found, unfortunately. So hopefully that'll change in the future. We see Spy and Gerol sitting sort of with, I would say, the lowest scores of the people who actually played with 3 lives, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, anything you'd like to say in regards to this stage of the tournament, Walter?
Much better to kind of let it play out. I honestly think that I chose that last one. It was the funniest thing, but
Yeah, I mean, I will see. I mean, these are the games. What was it? Shuffle off this mortal coil.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that I was the one that chose
It's
that. Yeah, and I'm I'm frustrated that I chose that, but at the same time, it's fun to see players play.
yeah. I mean, it's just interesting how you talked about how how ridiculous this game type was, how ridiculous, you know, this whole game was, and then we look at who actually chose this game, and it turns out to be you.
I think
You
it
hate to
might
see
be.
it.
It might be. You hate to see it, but
It's
you do love to on some level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of happy that it was actually you and not me who chose that map. So, but but yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just very frustrated.
but maybe it'll make you feel better when I say that this choice was by far not the worst selection of the tournament. There are far worse choices, and hopefully those choices will be brought to light in future episodes as
We'll find out.
as we cover some of the later weeks. I believe this was like a 6 week tournament, so we have plenty more material to cover. But for now, I think we've put in a good session, and I think it's time to say goodnight. So, any closing remarks you have, Walter?
Man, thank you so much. I think it's fun to just see so many amazing players play, and hopefully we can get more for next time.
Yep, I share those same sentiments. All right, well, I am signing off, and we'll see you guys next time.